Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय।
Jai.
श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। सामवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 17, the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya in his youth. So we are reading about the dialogue between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Chand Kazi. Lord Chaitanya, at first, after pacifying Chand Kazi, having some sweet talk in the beginning, then he came right to the point and he said, what type of religion is this where you eat your father and mother, you kill your father and mother to eat them? The cow gives you milk, so she is your mother. The bull tills the ground and gives you grains, so the bull is your father. And what type of religion are you following that you kill your father and mother to eat them? So the Kazi responded, listen, Nimai, you have your scriptures, the Vedas and Puranas, and we have our scripture, the Quran. So in Quran, there are two ways for progressing in life. One is called Pravritti Marga and the other is Nivritti Marga. If you follow the Pravritti Marga, then you increase your sense enjoyment. But you do it according to the injunctions of Quran. And by doing that, you don't get any sin. And in Nivritti Marga, you have to reduce your sense enjoyment. So killing of animals is allowed in the Pravritti Marga, but killing of animals is forbidden, or cow killing is forbidden in the Nivritti Marga. So now we'll see what happened after that. One second. What happened? Why I don't see my... Are you seeing my...
No, Mataji, we're seeing on WhatsApp.
You're seeing my WhatsApp? Oops. Okay. What happened? What happened to the... I don't see it either. Now?
No, we still see your WhatsApp. Maybe it's on pause screen. Or
Yeah, it's another screen. Okay. Now you see, right? Veda base.
yeah, now we see Vedas.
Okay. All right. 158. Okay. Yes. So we'll just quickly read the translations. Yeah. So the Lord said, "You drink." Yeah, first the Lord said, 152, "My dear uncle, I have come to your home just to ask you some questions." The Lord said, "You drink cow's milk, therefore the cow is your mother, and the bull produces grains for your maintenance, therefore he is your father. Since the bull and cow are your father and mother, how can you kill and eat them? What kind of religious principle is this? On what strength are you so daring that you commit such sinful activities?" The Qazi replied, "As you have your scriptures, called the Vedas and Puranas, we have our scripture known as the Holy Quran. According to the Quran, there are two ways of advancement: through increasing the propensity to enjoy and through decreasing the propensity to enjoy. On the path of decreasing attachment, Nivritti Marga, the killing of animals is prohibited. On the path of material activities, there is regulation for, oh, I think we have to start that, regulation for killing cows. If such killing is done under the guidance of scripture, there is no sin. Okay, so we'll continue from there. Text 158. तोमारा वेदेते आचे गोवधेर वाणी अतएव गोवध करे बड़ा बड़ा मुनि. Prabhuji, Achitya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the
Please
assembled
accept.
devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhu.
Translation. As a learned scholar, the Qazi challenged Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In your Vedic scriptures, there is an injunction for killing a cow. On the strength of this injunction, great sages performed sacrifices involving cow killing. Thank you, Mataji.
So, thank you. So, the Qazi didn't stop at that. He didn't say that in the Quran, uh, you know, there is cow killing is allowed in the Pravritti Marg. He didn't stop at that. Now he's saying, or Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, being a learned scholar, so that means the Qazi was also learned in the scriptures, the Vedic scriptures. Learned in the sense he had some knowledge of what is said in the Vedas. So, as a learned scholar, the Qazi challenged Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because first Chaitanya Mahaprabhu challenged Qazi, isn't it? How are you eating? What type of religious principle is this? So now the Qazi is challenging Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In your Vedic scriptures, there is an injunction for killing a cow. It's not that we are killing cows and it is a sin. Cows are killed, even, cow killing is also mentioned. It's given in the Vedic scriptures. That was his point. You are saying what type of religious principle is this? But this is also there in your scriptures. It's not new. In your Vedic scriptures, there is an injunction for killing a cow. On the strength of this injunction, great sages perform sacrifices involving cow killing. Now you try to understand, right? Sometimes people give such arguments. Well, it's there in the Vedas also for meat eaters, for example. Now they'll say, yeah, even in the Vedas it is allowed. But here cow killing is allowed for what? And for what purpose are you killing the cows? Anyway, let's continue reading. But Chand Kazi's argument is, it's also there in your Vedas. Cow killing is there in the Vedas, and so many great sages have performed yagyas involving cow killing. प्रभु कहे वेदे को है गोवध निषेधा अतएव हिंदू मात्र ना करे गोवधा. Translation. Arunita or Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Refuting the Kazi's statement, the Lord immediately replied, the Vedas clearly enjoin that cows should not be killed. Therefore, every Hindu, whoever he may be, avoids indulging in cow killing.
We don't kill cows. That's all. So Mahaprabhu is saying, the Vedas say very clearly that cows should not be killed. Cow sacrifice is a whole different thing. But we don't kill cows. What you're doing, is it a sacrifice? Your killing of cows, is it a sacrifice? You're killing cows to eat. And Vedas very strictly, clearly say, cows should not be killed. This is what Mahaprabhu is saying. Therefore, every Hindu, whoever he may be, right, whichever type of worship he is doing, but every Hindu avoids indulging in cow killing. This is what the Lord said. He replied immediately, no, cow killing is forbidden in the Vedas. Or the Lord said, the Vedas enjoin that one should not kill the cows. Purport. Arunita.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
In the Vedic scriptures, there are concessions for meat eaters. It is said that if one wants to eat meat, he should kill a goat before the gods come and eat its meat. Meat eaters are not allowed to purchase meat or flesh from a market or slaughterhouse. There are no sanitations for maintaining regular slaughterhouses to satisfy the tongues of meat eaters. As far as cow killing is concerned, it is completely forbidden. Since the cow is considered a mother, how could the Vedas allow cow killing? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pointed out that the Kazi's statement was faulty. In the Bhagavad Gita, 18.44, there is a clear injunction that cows should be protected.
Krishi Goraksha Vanijam Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam.
The duty of Vaishyas is to produce agricultural products, trade, and give protection to cows. Therefore, it is a false statement that the Vedic scriptures contain injunctions permitting cow killing.
Very nice. Huh? So very powerfully and strongly, Mahaprabhu refuted the Qazi's statement. The Qazi tried to challenge Mahaprabhu, saying that this is there even in the Vedas, cow killing. And Mahaprabhu said, no, cow killing is strictly forbidden in the Vedas. No Hindu will indulge in cow killing. There is concession for meat eating, yes. You can offer a goat, maximum up to a goat, or any smaller animals. You can kill by first offering it to goddess Kali, and then you can eat that meat. Meat eaters are not allowed, but even that, goats and chicken and all that, they are not allowed to buy from a butcher or buy from the market. They cannot do that. That's not sanctioned in the scriptures. And nor is it sanctioned to maintain regular slaughterhouses, like you maintain a grocery shop, right? You cannot, or you maintain a farm regularly where people can come and buy produce. You cannot maintain a slaughterhouse where regularly every day you're killing animals and you're supplying meat. This is not sanctioned at all in the scriptures in the Vedas. And this maintenance of slaughterhouses, for what purpose? To satisfy the tongues. You're regularly eating, you made it a business of killing just to satisfy the taste buds. This is not allowed in the scriptures. Sometimes people may eat meat, but it's not by maintaining slaughterhouses, right? Sometimes, and under certain conditions, there's no other food available, and that there also they go and hunt for themselves like that. But even in those conditions, cow killing is strictly forbidden. It's completely forbidden. You cannot kill a cow. Why? Because cow is considered a mother. Out of the 7 mothers, cow is also a mother. So if the Vedas are saying the cow is a mother, how the Vedas can allow killing cows, and what to speak of in any way? You cannot kill a cow, not just slaughterhouse. Then also Mahaprabhu pointed out that the Qazi statement is faulty. You said that Hindus also indulge in cow killing. No, it's faulty. The Vedas allow cow killing. No, it's faulty statement. Then Bhagavad Gita 8:44, Krishi Goraksha Vanijam. We've been reading these verses in the last few weeks from the 18th chapter. So there are duties for Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. For Vaishyas, the duty is Krishi Goraksha Vanijam. Agriculture, cow protection, and trade. So what you said is false, my dear Kazi. Jiyaite pare jadi tabe mare prani Veda Purane ache hai na agya vani.
Krishna Mataji, Dandavar Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
In the Vedas and Puranas, there are injunctions declaring that if one can revive a living being, one can kill it for experimental purpose. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So now coming to the point of the Vedas also permit cow killing, which he pointed. First of all, it is wrong. The Vedas don't permit cow killing. But as far as sacrifice, you said many munis, great sages, have performed sacrifices involving cow killing. What is that sacrifice? You can sacrifice an animal in a yajna, in a sacrifice. For what purpose? To test the efficacy of those mantras, to see if those mantras are actually effective. So what is the purpose of that sacrifice? The animal that is offered, that animal has to be revived. So if an old animal is killed, it will get a young body after that sacrifice. So that animal who is a spirit soul, he is actually getting a better destination by being offered in this sacrifice. That is not killing an animal. You're actually benedicting that animal, giving a better position. And that's visible right there. You can see it on that spot. It's not like, it's not a, so that's why, that's how they're testing it. Testing means what? When you test something, you have to see the results. That's when you know whether the test is successful or not. So they were doing it as an experiment. By chanting those mantras, right there they could see that this old sick animal has now become rejuvenated. In some cases, they get a human form, or certainly a better form than what it had before. So now Mahaprabhu is saying in the Vedas and Puranas, there are injunctions declaring that if one can revive a living being, one can kill it for experimental purposes. So on what conditions can you sacrifice an animal? Only if you are able. That means that Brahmana should be powerful enough. Powerful in what sense? In his own personal practices. He should be pure. And then he should have the capacity to chant the mantras properly. He should know how to recite properly. And all the other conditions should be met. And only if he is able to revive that animal, then he can kill it. If he does not revive it, then he'll have to take the reaction. That's the point. If one can revive a living being, one can kill it for experimental purposes. Atayeva jarad gava mare muni gana veda mantre siddha kore tahara jivana. Isha.
Therefore, the great sages sometimes killed old cows, and by chanting Vedic hymns, they brought them back to life for perfection.
Yeah. So right in front of everyone, old cows that were about to die, old cows, they are offered in sacrifice and they come back immediately. Right there, you could see them revived, coming back in a young form, coming back to life for perfection. Everybody could see it. It was an experiment of their mantras. They would chant to test, and it would be seen in front of everyone. That was cow sacrifice. The great sages who performed. So now giving it some other, misinterpreting that and saying, oh, because the Vedas allow cow sacrifice, so we will also kill cows and we will maintain slaughterhouses to kill cows. No, this is not acceptable. This is not permitted. This is not sanctioned in the Vedas. Jarad gava hoya yuva hoye aravara tate tara vadhana he hoye upakara. Krishna Shish.
The killing and rejuvenation of such old and invalid cows was not truly killing, but an act of great benefit.
See, you're not actually hurting that animal. You're doing good to that cow. It has a very old, sickly body, and you're reviving it to youth. You're actually doing, it's an act of great benefit. And sometimes the cows would get a human body, some other body, a better body by being sacrificed. So this is not an act of killing, but rather an act of great benefit. Who's saying all this? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. कली काले तैच्छ शक्ति नाही का ब्राह्मणे अतएव गोवध के हो ना कोरे एक एखने. Madhava.
Formerly, there were powerful Brahmanas who could make such experiments using Vedic hymns, but now, because of Kali Yuga, Brahmanas are not so powerful. Therefore, the killing of cows and bulls for rejuvenation is forbidden.
After saying this, after saying that the sacrifice of cows is actually an act of benediction, doing benefit to the cow and not killing, Mahaprabhu is making a point here. But this cow sacrifice, horse sacrifice, this was done in previous ages. In Kali Yuga, this type of sacrifice is forbidden. Killing of cows and bulls especially is forbidden in Kali Yuga. Mahaprabhu will speak further on this. What other types of sacrifices are forbidden in Kali Yuga? Narsimha Prahladeshwar Prabhu.
Mataji, after sacrifice, they take the flesh as prasad.
No, I don't. The rishis and sages will not take. Sometimes kshatriyas take, but they're also not the cow. I never heard about the cow. They would offer other animals, but cows, I'm not sure, Prabhuji, if they take cow flesh as prasad.
Same is with Ashwamedh Yoga.
Ashwamedh yagya also, yeah, the horse is sacrificed and it's rejuvenated right away. Yeah.
Also take the prasad. Prasad, the flesh as prasad.
I don't know, Prabhuji. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Aditi Lata Mataji.
Mataji, a quick question. So, the soul of that cow, when it is revived, that same soul comes back as the cow again, because and
Yeah.
as animals, we do not, they do not incur any karma. So, is it not that the cow goes to the next higher being?
Yeah, I said it can go to the next higher being, but it can also be revived. It can become younger instead of an old body. It is said that it is revived to perfection. So, yeah, either it can become a younger cow again, or it can even get a higher body.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah. So your point is, what is the point in becoming a cow again? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just trying to understand.
Yeah. I mean, it is a karma. This yagya, it is still karma. It's not exactly, So karma is still done within the material realm only. So within that also they can get a higher form. So that is there. But when it becomes young, yeah, I'm also not sure. But yeah, it can become a younger cow, or it can also get a higher form. That's also possible by the power of the mantras chanted. So basically it is being done. It is not being done for that cow. That's the point. The point is now you study some mantras in the Vedas and you want to see the power of those mantras. It's like, you know, they do some experiments, don't they? Like before they try some medicine or something, first they try it on animals, and then when they're successful there, then they give it to human beings, isn't it? So here the word is used, experimenting. So they're experimenting this mantra, and what is here? Here the experiment is, but the difference is in modern science, when you do some experiment on animal, that animal is finished, right? And if they fail, that animal is finished. And if they, even if they are succeeding, still that animal is not benefiting in any way.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
just used and exploited. But in this case, even though they are using the cow for an experiment, the cow is not at loss. It will be in a better situation than what it was before. Before it was in an old sickly body, right? But now it will get a new younger body. And what type of body it will get, I'm not exactly sure. It can get, it says it gets a younger body. It can get the next higher form, or the same cow becomes a young cow again, or you know, or it can become a human being. But the whole idea is they are not trying to do this for the cow. Understand? They are trying this as an experiment to test that mantra. But in the process, the cow is not going to be at loss in any way. Rather, it will only be benefited. That is the thing.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah. And as far as eating the flesh of the cow and the horse, that also I'm not sure. I'll have to check. Okay, next. So the Lord said, of course, this was happening back then, but now it's not allowed. Killing of cow sacrifice is not allowed in Kali Yuga. Why it is not allowed? We don't have such qualified brahmanas uh, who can perform such. So that means the chances are what of that sacrifice becoming successful? The chances are almost nil. So that's why it is forbidden in Kali Yuga. And apart from cow sacrifice, what else is forbidden? Mahaprabhu is saying by quoting from scripture. Ashwamedham gavalambham sannyasam palapaitrikam devarena sutotpattim kalau pancha vivarjayet. Rasapriya, did you read? Okay, go ahead. You can read the purport also, one line.
In this age of Kali, 5 acts are forbidden: the offering of a horse in sacrifice, the offering of a cow in sacrifice, the acceptance of the order of sannyas, the offering of oblations of flocks to the forefathers, and a man's begetting children and his brother's wife. Purport. This is a quotation from the Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Krishna Kanda
185.
185.18.
Yes. So this is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is quoting from Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Ashwamedham Gavalambam Sannyasam Palapaitrikam Devarena Sutotpattim Kalau Pancha Vivarjayat. So these 5 sacrifices, or these 5 are acts. 5 acts are forbidden. What are they? Horse sacrifice, cow sacrifice, sannyas, taking up of sannyas. Then also offering of meat or flesh to the forefathers, right? You cannot offer meat to the forefathers. in Shraddha, etc. You cannot offer. And also, if a woman's husband dies without her having any children, then husband's brother can beget children in her, because she needs somebody to support her. So, because a woman marries only one time, so if the husband is dead and if she has no children, so before she is married, her father takes care of her. After marriage, husband takes care of her, and after husband, her son will take care of her. This is the system. So if the after marriage, then father's responsibility is over. Now it's the husband's responsibility. If husband also dies and she doesn't have any sons, then in that case, the Vedas allow the husband's brother to beget children. So we see that in Mahabharata, Vichitra Virya's wives, Ambika, Ambalika. Their husband died before they had any children, and the kingdom also had no heir. So Vichitra Virya is Satyavati's son, and Satyavati had Vyasdev as her son before she married Shantanu Maharaj. So Vyasdev became Vichitra Virya's brother. Of course, Bhishmadev was also brother, because Bhishmadev was Shantanu Maharaj's son before he married Satyavati. But Bhishmadev had taken a vow of lifelong celibacy, so he could not do that. So she called Vyasdev, and Vyasdev begot children in Ambalika and Ambika. So we have Dhritarashtra and Pandu Maharaj, and then also for a third time they tried, but the ladies they tricked, so they sent a maid servant. So Vyasdev begot Vidur, like this. So that means it is allowed. It was allowed in previous times, but this is not allowed in Kali Yuga. A man's brother begetting children and his wife. No, this is not allowed. So what are the 5 things that are forbidden in Kali Yuga? Forbidden in Kali Yuga: cow sacrifice, horse sacrifice, sannyas, offering flesh to forefathers, and begetting children in one's brother's wife. Where is this quoted? Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Tomara jiyaite nara vadha matra sara, naraka hoite tomara nahi ko nistara. Next, Priyanka Mataji, right? I think so.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. Since you Muslims cannot bring killed cows back to life, you are responsible for killing them. Therefore, you are going to hell. There is no way for your deliverance.
You are saying our scriptures say that you follow the Pravritti Marga, there even if you kill, you don't get sin. It is not true. Mahaprabhu is saying. So you cannot. So we already had an elaborate discussion about this yesterday. I will not explain that again. But Shastra, you just cannot accept that somebody says, "Oh, in my book, in my family, this is the system, so we follow this." For example, let's say there is a rule, right? What is the rule? Universal rule. Just take some universal rule, or I don't know. I'm not able to think of anything. But let's say you should not steal. You should not steal. Okay, it's a crime to steal. And then you say, no, but my religion says that you can steal and you don't get a sinful reaction. Can you escape punishment from the government if you say, my religion says I should steal, therefore I can steal? No. You cannot accept that. So whatever is said, so first of all, you have to establish what is the highest authority. That's the whole thing. Establish the highest authority and what are the conditions that have to be met for anyone in the world, and it's not just for one section of people, one religion's people. No, this is for everyone, not just in this universe, not just for this particular time when we are living, past, present, and future, all over the universe and beyond. There has to be one authority. So then we say this is the authority, Vedas. And they say why we have to accept. Then we say you show an authority which is applicable to everyone, past, present, and future, and you prove it, then we will accept. That's the point. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, so Mahaprabhu said, no, you should not. The cow is your mother. How are you killing your mother and father? Chand Kazi said, our scripture allows. And by the way, your scripture also allows. So Chand Kazi is like my scripture and your scripture. Mahaprabhu didn't buy that. No. In the Vedas, it is not allowed. Killing of cows is not allowed. And as far as cow sacrifice is a whole different thing. You should be able to bring back to life whoever you are killing. Never mind, even if it's coming back to a cow's body, at least it's not losing anything. It's not losing anything. It was living before and now it's living again, and it's living in a younger body. No pains in the body, no old age. It's in a better situation than what it was before. So what does the cow have to lose by this sacrifice? Can you do that? When you kill your cows in the slaughterhouse and you eat that meat, what benefit are you doing to the cow that you're eating? And you're saying there is no sin by doing this? There is sin. You will go to hell. What is the proof? Vedas are the proof. And this is Mahaprabhu himself saying, is Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Dharma is given by Bhagavan himself. And he's only saying, you are going to hell. There is no way for your deliverance. Very clearly Mahaprabhu said. Okay. Yes, because we have to recite, we will stop here. I'm just saying if there are any purports. Yeah, there is. Now we'll stop here. So for Purushottam Mass, we are reciting Bhagavad Gita chapter 15 and Bhagavatam Canto 10 chapter 14. You can all recite along with me, keeping yourselves in mute. Is the speed okay with the verses? Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, thank you. All right. Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, the Yoga of the Supreme Person, text 1. Oh, wait 1 second, I have to change it. Okay, yeah. Sri Bhagavanuvacha Urdhvamulam Adha Shakam Ashwatham Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Saveda Ved. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. Adhaschordhvam prasritastasya shakha gunapravriddha vishaya pravalaha adhascha mulanyanu karmanubandhini manushya loke. The branches of this tree extend downward and upward, nourished by the three modes of material nature. The twigs are the objects of the senses. This tree also has roots going down, and these are bound to the fruitive actions of human society. न रूपमस्येह तथोपलभ्यते नान्तो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन छित्त्वा ततः पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यम् यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये yatah pravrittihi prasrita purani. The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. Thereafter, one must seek that place from which, having gone, one never returns, and there surrender to that Supreme Personality of Godhead from whom everything began and from whom everything has extended since time immemorial. निर्मानमोहाजितसङ्गदोषा अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ताः सुखदुःखसंज्ञैर्गच्छन्त्यमूढा पदमव्ययं तत्. Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom. न तद्भासयते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम paramam mama. That supreme abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः मनः षष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. I don't hear you all reciting. Text 8. I'm talking about my kids. शरीरं यद् अवाप्नोति यच्चाप्युत्क्रामतीश्वरः गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात्. The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another, as the air carries aromas. Thus, he takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another. श्रोत्रं चक्षुः स्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणम् एव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयान् उपसेवते. The living entity, thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, and sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind. He thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects. उत्क्रामन्तं स्थितं वापि भुञ्जानं वा गुणान्वितं विमूढानानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः. The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this. Rasapriya, you are reciting? यतन्तो योगिनश्चैनं पश्यन्त्यात्मन्यवस्थितं यतन्तोऽप्यकृतात्मानो नैनं पश्यन्त्यचेतसः. The endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated in self-realization can see all this clearly, but those whose minds are not developed and who are not situated in self-realization cannot see what is taking place, though they may try. यद् आदित्यगतं तेजो जगद्भासयतेऽखिलं यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चामामकम्. The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me, and the splendor of the moon and the splendor of fire are also from me. गाम् आविश्य च भूतानि धारयाम्यहमोजसा पुष्णामि चौषधी सर्वाः सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः. I enter into each planet, and by my energy they stay in orbit. I become the moon, and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधम्. I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and incoming, to digest the four kinds of foodstuff. 15. सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्तः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृत् वेदविद् एव चाहम्. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Madhava, are you reciting? द्वाविमौ पुरुषौ लोके क्षरश्चाक्षर एव च क्षरः सर्वाणि भूतानि कूटस्थोऽक्षर उच्यते. There are two classes of beings, the fallible and the infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible, and in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible. उत्तमः पुरुषस्त्वन्यः परमात्मेत्युदाहृतः यो लोकत्रयमाविश्य बिभर्त्यव्यय ईश्वरः. Besides these two, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord Himself, who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them. Madhava, please recite. यस्मात्क्षरम् अतीतोऽहम् अक्षराद् अपि चोत्तमः अतोऽस्मि लोके वेदे च प्रथितः पुरुषोत्तमः. Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that Supreme Person. यो माम् एवम् असम्मूढो जानाति पुरुषोत्तमं स सर्वविद् भजति मां सर्वभावेन भारत. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata. Text 20. इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रम् इदम् उक्तं मया नघ एतद् बुद्ध्वा बुद्धिमान् स्यात् कृतकृत्यश्च भारत. This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures, O sinless one, and it is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahmastuti, Canto 10, Chapter 14. Okay, next one. Okay, everyone is going to recite, please. And I should hear all four of your voices loud and clear. Sri Brahmovacha Naumidhyate Brahvapuše Tadidambaraya Gunjavatam Saparipichala Sanmukhaya Vanyasraje Kavalavetra Vishana Venu Lakshmashriye Mridupade Pashupangajaya. Lord Brahma said, My dear Lord, you are the only worshipable Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore I offer my humble obeisances and prayers just to please you. O son of the king of the cowherds, your transcendental body is dark blue like a new cloud. Your garment is brilliant like lightning, and the beauty of your face is enhanced by your gunja earrings and the peacock feather on your head. Wearing garlands of various forest flowers and leaves, and equipped with a herding stick, a buffalo horn, and a flute. You stand beautifully with a morsel of food in your hand. Text 2. अस्यापि देव वपुषो मदनुग्रहस्य स्वेच्छामयस्य न तु भूतमयस्य कोऽपि नेशे महित्ववसितुं मनसान्तरेण साक्षात् तवैव किमुतात्मसुखानुभूतेः. My dear Lord, neither I nor anyone else can estimate the potency of this transcendental body of yours, which has shown such mercy to me, and which appears just to fulfill the desires of your pure devotees. Although my mind is completely withdrawn from material affairs, I cannot understand your personal form. How then could I possibly understand the happiness you experience within yourself? Jnane prayasamudapasya namanta eva जीवन्ति सन्मुखरितां भवदीयवार्तां स्थाने स्थिताः श्रुतिगतां तनुवान् मनोभिर् ये प्रायशो जितजितोऽप्यसितैस्त्रिलोक्याम्. Those who, even while remaining situated in their established social positions, throw away the process of speculative knowledge, and with their body, words, and mind offer all respects to descriptions of your personality and activities, dedicating their lives to these narrations, which are vibrated by you personally and by your pure devotees, certainly conquer your lordship, although you are otherwise unconquerable by anyone within the three worlds. श्रेयःश्रितिं भक्तिमुदस्य ते विभो क्लिश्यन्ति ये केवलबोधलब्धये तेषामसौ क्लेशल एव शिष्यते नान्यद्यथा स्थूलतुषावघातिनाम्. My dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the best path for self-realization. If someone gives up that path and engages in the cultivation of speculative knowledge, he will simply undergo a troublesome process and will not achieve his desired result. As a person who beats an empty husk of wheat cannot get grain, one who simply speculates cannot achieve self-realization. His only gain is trouble. पुरेह भूमन् बहवोऽपि योगिनस्त्वदर्पितेह निजकर्मलब्धया विबुध्य भक्त्यैव कथोपनीतया प्रपेदिरेञ्जोच्युत ते गतिं पराम्. O Almighty Lord, in the past, many yogis in this world achieved the platform of devotional service by offering all their endeavors unto you and faithfully carrying out their prescribed duties. Through such devotional service, perfected by the processes of hearing and chanting about you, they came to understand you, O Infallible One, and could easily surrender to you and achieve your supreme abode. तथापि भूमन् महिमा गुणस्य ते विबोद्धुमर्हत्यमलान्तरात्मभिः अविक्रियात् स्वानुभवादरूपतो ह्यनन्यबोध्यात्मतया न चान्यथा. Non-devotees, however, cannot realize you in your full personal feature. Nevertheless, it may be possible for them to realize your expansion as the impersonal Supreme by cultivating direct perception of the Self within the heart. But they can do this only by purifying their mind and senses of all conceptions of material distinctions and all attachment to material sense objects. Only in this way will your impersonal feature manifest itself to them. गुणात्मनस्तेऽपि गुणान् विमातुं हितावतीर्णस्य क ईशिरेस्य कालेन यैर्वा विमितासु कल्पैर्भूपांशवहकेमिहिकाद्युभासः. In time, learned philosophers or scientists might be able to count all the atoms of the earth, the particles of snow, or perhaps even the shining molecules radiating from the sun, the stars, and other luminaries. But among these learned men, who could possibly count the unlimited transcendental qualities possessed by you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have descended onto the surface of the earth for the benefit of all living entities? तत्तेऽनुकम्पां सुसमीक्षमाणो भुञ्जान एवात्मकृतं विपाकम् हृद्वाग्वपुर्भिर्विदधन् नमस्ते जीवेत यो मुक्तिपदे सदायभाक्. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances within his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. Next 9. पश्येष मे नार्यमनन्त आद्ये परात्मनि त्वय्यपि मायि मायिने मायां वितत्येक्षितुमात्मवैभवम् ह्यहं कियान् ऐच्छमिवार्चिरग्नौ. My Lord, just see my uncivilized impudence. To test your power, I tried to extend my illusory potency to cover you, the unlimited and primeval Supersoul, who bewilder even the masters of illusion. What am I compared to you? I am just like a small spark in the presence of a great fire. अतः क्षमस्वाच्युत मे रजो भुवो ह्यजानतस्त्वत्पृथगीशमानिनः अजावलेपान्धतमोऽन्धचक्षुषा एषोऽनुकम्प्यो मयि नाथवानिति. Therefore, O infallible Lord, kindly excuse my offenses. I have taken birth in the mode of passion, and am therefore simply foolish, presuming myself a controller independent of your Lordship. My eyes are blinded by the darkness of ignorance, which causes me to think of myself as the unborn creator of the universe. But please consider that I am your servant and therefore worthy of your compassion. 11. Kwaham tamo mahadaham charagnivarbhu samveshtitanda ghata sapta vitastikayah त्वेदृग्विधा विगणिताण्डपराणुचर्या वाताध्वरोमविवरस्य च ते महित्वम्. What am I? A small creature measuring 7 spans of my own hand. I am enclosed in a pot-like universe composed of material nature, the total material energy, false ego, ether, air, water, and earth. And what is your glory? Unlimited universes pass through the pores of your body just as particles of dust pass through the openings of a screened window. 12. उत्क्षेपणं गर्भगतस्य पादयो किं कल्पते मातुरधोक्षजागसे किम् अस्ति नास्ति व्यपदेशभूषितं तवास्ति कुक्षे कियदप्यनन्तः. O Lord Adhokshaja, does a mother take offense when the child within her womb kicks with his legs? And is there anything in existence, whether designated by various philosophers as real or as unreal, that is actually outside your abdomen? 13. जगत्त्रयान्तो दधि सम्प्लवोदे नारायणस्योदरनाभिनालात् विनिर्गतोऽजस्त्वितिवान्न वै मृषा किन्त्वीश्वरत्वन्न विनिर्गतोऽस्मि. My dear Lord, it is said that when the three planetary systems are merged into the water at the time of dissolution, your plenary portion, Narayan, lies down on the water. Gradually, a lotus flower grows from his navel, and Brahma takes birth upon that lotus flower. Certainly, these words are not false. Thus, am I not born from you? 14. नारायणस्त्वं न हि सर्वदेहिनाम् आत्मास्यधीशाखिललोकसाक्षी नारायणोऽङ्गं नरभूतलायनात् तच्चापि सत्यं न तवैव माया. Are you not the original Narayan, O Supreme Controller, since you are the soul of every embodied being and the eternal witness of all created realms? Indeed, Lord Narayan is your expansion, and he is called Narayan because he is the generating source of the primeval water of the universe. He is real, not a product of your illusory Maya. 15. तच्चेज्जलस्तं तव सज्जगद्वपुः किं मे न दृष्टं भगवंस्तदैव किं वा सुदृष्टं हृदि मे तदैव किं नो सपद्येव पुनर्व्यदर्शि. My dear Lord, if your transcendental body, which shelters the entire universe, is actually lying upon the water, then why were you not seen by me when I searched for you? And why, though I could not envision you properly within my heart, did you then suddenly reveal yourself? 16. अत्रैव मायाधमनावतारे यस्य प्रपञ्चस्य बहिस्फुटस्य कृत्स्नस्य चान्तर्जठरे जनन्या माया त्वमेव प्रकटीकृतं ते. My dear Lord, in this incarnation, you have proved that you are the supreme controller of Maya. Although you are now within this universe, the whole universe, universal creation, is within your transcendental body, a fact you demonstrated by exhibiting the universe within your abdomen before your mother Yashoda. 17. यस्य कुक्षाविदं सर्वं सात्मं भाति यथा तथा तत्त्वय्यपीह तत्सर्वं किम idam मायया विना. Just as this entire universe, including you, was exhibited within your abdomen, so it is now manifested here externally in the same exact form. How could such things happen unless arranged by your inconceivable energy? So this is Janmadhyasya meter. अद्यैव त्वदृतेस्य किं मम न ते माया त्वमादर्शितम् एकोऽसि प्रथमं ततो व्रजसुहृद् वत्साः समस्ता अपि तावन्तोऽसि चतुर्भुजास्तदखिलैः साकं मयोपासितास्तावन्त्येव जगन्त्यभूस्तदमितं ब्रह्माद्वयं शिष्यते. Have you not shown me today that both you yourself and everything within this creation are manifestations of your inconceivable potency? First you appeared alone, and then you manifested yourself as all of Vrindavan's calves and cowherd boys, your friends. Next, you appeared as an equal number of four-handed Vishnu forms, who were worshipped by all living beings, including me. And after that, you appeared as an equal number of complete universes. Finally, you have now returned to your unlimited form as the Supreme Absolute Truth, one without a second. 19. अजानतां त्वत्पदवीमनात्मनि आत्मात्मना भासि वितत्य मायां सृष्टाविवाहं जगतो विधान इव त्वमेषोऽन्त इव त्रिनेत्रः. To persons ignorant of your actual transcendental position, you appear as part of the material world, manifesting yourself by the expansion of your inconceivable energy. Thus, for the creation of the universe, you appear as me, Brahma. For its maintenance, you appear as yourself, Vishnu. And for its annihilation, you appear as Lord Trinetra, Shiva. 20. सुरेश्वरिशिश्वीश तथैव नृष्वपि तिर्यक्षु यादश्वपि ते जनस्य जन्मा सतां दुर्मदनिग्रहाय प्रभो विधातः सदनुग्रहाय च. O Lord, O Supreme Creator and Master, you have no material birth, yet to defeat the false pride of the faithless demons and to show mercy to your saintly devotees, you take birth among the demigods, sages, human beings, animals, and even the aquatics. 21. को वेत्ति भूमन् भगवन् परात्मन् योगेश्वरोऽतिर्भवतस्त्रिलोक्यां क्व वा कथं वा कति वा कदेति विस्तारयन् क्रीडसि योगमायाम्. O Supreme Great One, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Super Soul, Master of all mystic power, your pastimes are taking place continuously in these three worlds. But who can estimate where, how, and when you are employing your spiritual energy and performing these innumerable pastimes? No one can understand the mystery of how your spiritual energy acts. 22. तस्मादिदं जगदशेषमसत्स्वरूपं स्वप्नाभमस्तधिषणं पुरुदुःखदुःखम् त्वय्येव नित्यसुखबोधतनावनन्ते मायात उद्यगपि यत्सदिवावभाति. Therefore, this entire universe, which like a dream is by nature unreal, nevertheless appears real, and thus it covers one's consciousness and assails one with repeated miseries. This universe appears real because it is manifested by the potency of illusion emanating from you, whose unlimited transcendental forms are full of eternal happiness and knowledge. 23. एकस्त्वमात्मा पुरुषः पुराणः सत्यस्वयं ज्योतिरनन्त आद्यः नित्योऽक्षरोऽजस्रसुखो निरञ्जनः पूर्णाद्वयो मुक्त उपाधितोऽमृतः. You are the one Supreme Soul, the primeval Supreme Personality, the Absolute Truth, self-manifested, endless, and beginningless. You are eternal and infallible, perfect and complete, without any rival and free from all material designations. Your happiness can never be obstructed, nor have you any connection with material contamination. Indeed, you are the indestructible nectar of immortality. 24. एवं विधं त्वां सकलात्मनामपि स्वात्मानमात्मात्मतया विचक्षते गुरुवर्कलब्धोपनिषत्सु चक्षुषा ये ते तरन्तीव भवानृतां बुधिम्. Those who have received the clear vision of knowledge from the sun-like spiritual master can see you in this way as the very soul of all souls, the super soul of everyone's own self. Thus, understanding your original personality, they are able to cross over the ocean of illusory material existence. Atma, okay, 25. आत्मानमेवात्मतया विजानतां तेनैव जातं निखिलं प्रपञ्चितं ज्ञानेन भूयोऽपि च तत्प्रलीयते रज्ज्वामहेर्भोगभवाभवौ यथा. A person who mistakes a rope for a snake becomes fearful, but he then gives up his fear upon realizing that the so-called snake does not exist. Similarly, for those who fail to recognize you as the supreme soul of all souls, The expansive illusory material existence arises, but knowledge of you at once causes it to subside. 26. अज्ञानसंज्ञौ भवबन्धमोक्षौ द्वौ नाम नान्यौ स्तरितज्ञभावात् अजस्रचित्यात्मनि केवले परे विचार्यमाणे तरणाविवाहनि. The conception of material bondage and the conception of liberation are both manifestations of ignorance. Being outside the scope of true knowledge, they cease to exist when one correctly understands that the pure spirit soul is distinct from matter and always fully conscious. At that time, bondage and liberation no longer have any significance, just as day and night have no significance from the perspective of the sun. Text 27. त्वामात्मानं परं मत्वा परम् आत्मानमेव च आत्मा पुनर्बहिर्मृग्या अहोग्या जनताज्ञता. Just see the foolishness of those ignorant persons who consider you to be some separated manifestation of illusion and who consider the self, which is actually you, to be something else, the material body. Such fools conclude that the Supreme Soul is to be searched for somewhere outside your Supreme Personality. 28. अन्तर्भवेनन्तभवन्तमेव यतत्यजन्तो मृगयन्ति सन्तः असन्तमप्यन्त्यहिमन्तरेण सन्तं गुणं तं किमुयन्ति सन्तः. O unlimited Lord, the saintly devotees seek you out within their own bodies by rejecting everything separate from you. Indeed, how can discriminating persons appreciate the real nature of a rope lying before them until they refute the illusion that it is a snake? 29. अथापि ते देवपदाम्बुजद्वया प्रसादलेशानुगृहीत एव हि जानाति तत्त्वं भगवन्महिम्नो न चान्य एकोऽपि चिरं विचिन्वन्. My Lord, if one is favored by even a slight trace of the mercy of your lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality. But those who speculate to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead are unable to know you, even though they continue to study the Vedas for many years. Text 30. तदस्तु मे नाथ स भूरिभागो भवेत्रवान्यत्र तु वातिरश्चाम् येनाहमेकोऽपि भवज्जनानां भूत्वा निषेवे तव पादपल्लवम्. My dear Lord, I therefore pray to be so fortunate that in this life as Lord Brahma or in another life, wherever I take my birth, I may be counted as one of your devotees. I pray that wherever I may be, even among the animal species, I can engage in devotional service to your lotus feet. 31. अहोति धन्या व्रजगोरमण्यः स्तन्यामृतं पीतमतीव ते मुदा यासां विभो वत्सतरात्मजात्मना यत्तृप्तयेद्यापि न चालमध्वराः. O Almighty Lord, how greatly fortunate are the cows and ladies of Vrindavan, the nectar of whose breast milk you have happily drunk to your full satisfaction, taking the form of their calves and children. All the Vedic sacrifices performed from time immemorial up to the present day have not given you as much satisfaction. 32. Aho bhagyam Nandagopa Vrajaukasam Yanmitram Paramanandam Purnam Brahma Sanatanam. How greatly fortunate are Nanda Maharaj, the cowherd man, and all the other inhabitants of Rajabhumi. There is no limit to their good fortune, because the absolute truth, the source of transcendental bliss, the eternal Supreme Brahman, has become their friend. 33. Esham tu bhagya mahimaच्युततावदास्ताम् एकादशैव हि वयं बत भूरि भागाः एतदृशीकचषकैरसकृत् पिबामः शर्वादयोऽङ्घ्र्युदजमध्वमृतासवं ते. Yet, even though the extent of the good fortune of these residents of Vrindavan is inconceivable, we 11 presiding deities of the various senses, headed by Lord Shiva, are also most fortunate, because the senses of these devotees of Vrindavan are the cups through which we repeatedly drink the nectarian intoxicating beverage of the honey of your lotus feet. 34. तद्भूरिभाग्यमिह जन्म किमप्यटव्याम् यद्गोकुलेऽपि कथमङ्घ्रिरजोऽभिषेकम् यज्जीवितं तु निखिलं भगवान् मुकुन्दस् त्वद्यापि यत्पदरजः श्रुतिमृग्यमेव. My greatest possible good fortune would be to take any birth whatever in this forest of Gokul and have my head bathed by the dust falling from the lotus feet of any of its residents. Their entire life and soul is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Mukunda, the dust of whose lotus feet is still being searched for in the Vedic mantras from Janmadhyasya. येषां घोषनिवासिनामुत भवान् किं देवरातेति नश्चेतो विश्वफलात् फलं त्वदपरं कुत्राप्ययन्मुह्यति सद्वेषादिव पूतनापि सकुला त्वामेव देवा पिता यद्धामार्थसुहृत्प्रियात्मतनया प्राणाशयास्त्वत्कृते. My mind becomes bewildered just trying to think of what reward other than you could be found anywhere. You are the embodiment of all benedictions, which you bestow upon these residents of the cowherd community of Vrindavan. You have already arranged to give yourself to Putana and her family members in exchange for her disguising herself as a devotee. So what is left for you to give these devotees of Vrindavan, whose homes, wealth, friends, dear relations, bodies, children, and very lives and hearts are all dedicated only to you? 36. तावद् रागादयस्तेनास् तावत् कारागृहं गृहं तावन्मोहोऽङ्घ्रिनिगडो यावत् कृष्ण न ते जनाः. My dear Lord Krishna, until people become your devotees, their material attachments and desires remain thieves, their homes remain prisons, and their affectionate feelings for their family members remain foot shackles. 37. प्रपञ्चं निष्प्रपञ्चोऽपि विडम्बयसि भूतले प्रपन्न जनतानन्दा सन्दोहं प्रतितुं प्रभो. My dear Master, although you have nothing to do with material existence, you come to this earth and imitate material life just to expand the varieties of ecstatic enjoyment for your surrendered devotees. 38. जानन्त एव जानन्तु किं बहुक्त्या न मे प्रभो मनसो वपुषो वाचो वैभवं तव गोचरः. There are people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let them think that way. As far as I am concerned, I do not wish to speak very much about this matter. O my Lord, let me say this much. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words. 39. Anujaanihi mam Krishna sarvam tvam vetsi sarvadrik tvam eva jagatam natho jagad etad tavarpitam. My dear Krishna, I now humbly request permission to leave. Actually, you are the knower and seer of all things. Indeed, you are the Lord of all the universes, and yet I offer this one universe unto you. 40. Sri Krishna Vrishni Kula Pushkara Joshadayin Shmanirjaradvija Pashudadhivriddhikarin Uddharmasharvaraharakshitirakshasadrug Akalpamarkamarhan Bhagavan Namaste. My dear Sri Krishna, you bestow happiness upon the lotus-like Vrishni dynasty and expand the great oceans consisting of the earth, the demigods, the brahmanas, and the cows. You dispel the dense darkness of irreligion and oppose the demons who have appeared on this earth. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, as long as this universe exists and as long as the sun shines, I will offer my obeisances unto you. Hare Krishna. Sri Brahmastuti ki jai. Sri Purushottam Mas ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji.